the place we were gonna metal detect this morning I had all scheduled out, but they're cutting down a bunch of big trees and grinding them up, and they don't really want me there. So we're gonna head around town since I have time today and see if we can find some place to metal detect with the time that we have left. So here we go, total shot in the dark. We're in an area where there's like 10 homes around that are old. I don't know anything about them because I don't have any mapping right here. But the hardest one to ask is the first one. So if we go to the first one and nobody's there or whatever, just the ice-breaking part of knocking on the door is the hard part. So we'll go to the first one and go until hopefully somebody says yes. Otherwise, we have to call it a day and go home. All right, let's go. All right, this is how it went. I asked the gentleman that was working in his garden to see if I could actually metal detect some of the area around his garden, because it looks like there used to be an old house that used to stand where that garden lies now. So we're just gonna check it. We have a curb strip, which is right here, running down that way. And then we also have some older sidewalks, they're concrete. And then we have this area over here that kind of butts up to the garden that you can see starting at the top of the screen there. Now, it is a little private back here, so I can't show much. So this will be our dig for today, since the other site that we were headed to didn't quite work out, but we'll go there eventually. Now, we have the Equinox again. I actually put a new screen cover on because the screen cover that I had on there was starting to get beat up quite a bit. And I read in the manual that you just cut a line across the one that has the all the words in English. And so I cut it and I stuck it back on. And then I took one that was either in Japanese or Chinese or something, and I cut along that same black line and took their text off and then stuck that clear part back on. And now I got a brand new screen again. So make sure and use those in your packet, even though the language is not the same. Just reuse the clear part. So we're gonna get into settings today. Let's hunt some high tones, and let's actually go in field 1 for right now. See where our sensitivity's at. We're at 22, 21, 20. You can still hear a little bit in there, but we're just gonna go ahead and do the noise cancel. And the noise cancel, when you do this, make sure your coil is up off the ground. This is not for the actual dirt. This is for the EMI surrounding your site. So we're running at 20, so that is very powerful. You don't always have to be at that 25 mark in order to get deep. So we're gonna go ahead and ground balance real quick. Let me find a clean spot. So now it's ground balance, and you see it came in at an 8. So this soil is not really that badly mineralized. The higher that number, the more minerals that are in the dirt. We're gonna hunt in 5 tones. We're gonna reject from -9 to, I think that's 3 there, and then 39 and 40. Now, until we get on the site, we won't know how many targets are in the ground, but I'm gonna leave it at 6 for now. That's pretty quick. But that's just where we're gonna run right now. We can adjust that later. Then hold down our settings button until the recovery speed icon's underlined for iron bias. We're at 0 right now. We're just gonna leave it there. So, old house used to be here. It's tore down. We've got a sidewalk and a curb strip. It could be anything here. So we'll hunt for a little bit and just see what we find. As you can tell, the curb's right there. So we're right beside the road. We got about 4 bars there. And it's a pretty high reading. 26, 27 is what I'm gonna call it. Try to get right over top of it. That's a pretty good signal. Let's keep looking at this one. Pinpointer says it's right there, and I think I see it. To tell you the truth. Whatever that is, it's round. It's got a lot of corrosion on it. Let me clean on that a little bit. It's a wheat scent. You might see it there. It's a 1940 something. So that's all we have for now. Here's the back of it. You might be able to see the E up at the top right-hand side there. There's an E for the 1 scent as it flew away on me there. But it's definitely a wheat scent from the 1940s. Excellent target right here beside the sidewalk. 22, 23, 24, reads nice and high. Oh, I just saw it fall down in there. It's right here. See what we have. Oh, it's a wheat scent. You can see it there. It's a pretty good looking coin. You can make out a lot of details on it. What do we have? Can you make it out there? It's a 1944 wheat scent. It's pretty good. 2 wheat scents so far, and we've only been here for maybe 15 minutes. So there doesn't have to be a house everywhere you metal detect. This is our site, a little bit better shot of it. There's nothing here. There's a garden, a sidewalk, and an intersection of like an alley and a road, and you can tell that, you know, most likely there was a house that used to sit about where that garden's at. Might have another wheat there, about 3 bars deep. It's real loud though, so it's right about there, 24. When I say real loud, I mean it seems like it's a bigger target than an actual coin. So I don't know what's going on with this one, but usually coins, they don't sound real big, especially when they have 3 or 4 bars deep. So if it's about 6 inches deep, it should pinpoint a lot smaller than this, but sometimes it comes in larger. We'll just see what this is and make a judgment off of it then. The only reason I say that is because people ask me all the time, what do you mean by pinpointing small or big? That's what I mean. Let's check the hole. Still in there, 24. I think it's right off this side here somewhere. Actually, it's right about there. Oh, I see it, whatever it is. I'm gonna move the camera so you all can see what I'm seeing. It's made out of copper. It looks somewhat interesting. You see it there? What is that? Oh, this might be cool. So this is our find. It might be like a makeup compact of some sort, but you can see this is 1/2 of it, and another side would have slid off of it. But there is 2 holes on this side, which I don't know why that would be there. But there's no markings, no names, no numbers, and it's definitely old. You know, it's probably, you know, judging by that hole. And here's my pinpointer down in there. It's reading about 5 inches deep to the top of the dirt. So to my coil, about 6-inch find there. But it is really a good sized target. Now that's what I meant about that pinpoint. It sounded like a bigger target instead of lighter tone and pinpointing in a short stroke of distance, being it'll be a coin. So definitely got some age to it. So I'm very happy with that. So let's keep moving. So we've already worked all the curb strips. So now we're gonna work down the back of the sidewalk and what area that we do have to hunt here. Here's a little lower VDI, 17, 18, 19. Oh, there it is right there. It's a big piece of aluminum wire. Maybe an old chain link fence or something. It's about 3 bars deep. It pinpoints fairly large. Just see what it is. It's still in the hole, so it's pretty deep. On down in there. Of all things. Usually I only find these out in the field, so we're obviously in some old dirt here by our harmonica reed find. So that's pretty cool. I'm really happy with that. So the dirt we're in definitely gets us back in time. So let's buckle down and pay attention to every signal in here. Next target is real small. Barely anything, right about there. So it's deep. And I'm not gonna let the jumpy numbers deter me any, but I want to remove some dirt and see if there's other stuff down there with it, but I'm thinking this is a coin. So here we are checking. My coin's like, if it is a coin, flipped over on edge right here, or maybe it's in a weird position. Yeah. But I know when I got a good signal on top of the ground and I get the plug pulled and everything's laying on top and I can't find it, just pinpoint down in there, because that thing could be laying on edge with a bunch of other stuff, or even directly on edge, and being however much corrosion's on it, you might not pick it up. Now, I don't know what this is yet. It doesn't feel like a wheat scent. So let me clean on it and we'll go from there. So this is what we have. And that's why I stuck around. It says Army and Navy. This is a coin that was made. It's a Civil War token. On the back side of it, it should have the date. It's somewhere around 1863, I believe, is the date that we're on this style. But there's a flag right there and it's got text around it. I'm gonna wait to clean it up when I get home. You can still see the reading around the outside, and you can see somewhat of a formation of a flag there. And but you can definitely make out that it says Army and Navy. So very awesome find. Was not expecting that, but when I found that little harmonica reed, I knew I was going to be getting back in the mid 1800s on this site. So very, very awesome find. Somewhat of something to think about whenever you're out detecting. Make sure to always, even if you lose the target, keep on looking. So all of a sudden, this about 20 foot wide by 60 foot long strip I got the metal detect today got a whole lot more interesting. So it came down the back side of that sidewalk, about 5 to 6 feet off the back of it. Now we're gonna head back down that way. We have a target right here to start that direction. Right off the bat, I hit this one. 25 or so, 26 maybe. Pinpoints in the short strokes again. So I'm say it's a coin. And it's coming in around a 26. Let's just check the hole. Not in there. That dropped down a little bit, so let's just see what it is. So it's right about there, which is only about 3 inches deep. So maybe 4 inches deep from the coil. Here it is here. It's definitely a coin. It's 1978. So that's the oldest of our Lincoln so far, but let's keep looking. We're only about 3 feet from that last Lincoln cent we found, our Lincoln penny. And 1921, a little mixed. Might be a piece of can slaw or aluminum. It might also be a coin because it's 4 bars deep and not all that big. Let's check the hole. So there's a 20. It's right in this dirt clod. And if you look in this dirt clod, there's some brick remnants. See them right there, that orangey stuff? So there must have been a brick house here at one point in time, and that's the kind of house they tore down. Our target's right here in this dirt clod, so let's find it together if I don't make too much of a mess in their yard. Used to doing this out in the farm fields. It's kind of home for me. I think I found it. That's it right there. See it? I don't think it's a coin though, it's something. Might just be a metal ring off something. Don't know. Hard to tell on that one. Could be anything. Kind of jumping around between 10 to 12, maybe a 13 every once in a while. It's really deep. You can see it there. It's got 4 bars or so. So let's just see what it is. See if that got it out of the hole. Wow, it didn't. It's actually still down in there. Sounds like it's right in the middle of the hole too, so good deep one. I just pulled a dirt clod out right here, and my whole Garrett pinpointer goes all the way in there. So that's 9 inches, 9.5. And this is what's down in there. So this is our find. And you might know what this is already, but it's the top part of a lantern. This is the part where the oil would be below it, and then you would advance the wick out of there with a little turn thing that you turn on the side there with a bezel on it. But yeah, that's what that is. So that's a oil lantern, and it's probably, you know, 10 inches deep. Hit it really good, so cool find. Here's our next one, 23, 24. Let's see what pinpoint says. Real small, so that'll be good. Let's dig that one. You might see it already. It flipped out and I was having a hard time finding it. It's right here. I can see the edge of it. You can see it too. I can't tell if it's modern or not, but it's a dime. And we're hoping that it's silver. It might be a modern one. Oh, it sure ain't modern. Golly, look how perfect that thing is. 1902 barber dime right there. Looks like they dropped it yesterday. let me clean on it. All right, this little grass strip's awesome, isn't it? 1902 barber dime. Just as beautiful as it can be. Look at the back of it. Look at that thing. Super, super nice. Can't beat that. Golly. All right, let's keep looking. Man, that thing was only like 6 inches deep too, so not too bad, not too bad. All right, let's try this one out. It's 15, 14. Found some interesting stuff in that 14 range. Also found some pull tabs, but let's try it. And just over from the barber dime. Not the same depth as this old pull tab. So, gotta dig them. Let's keep going. I'll just listen to that for a minute because I like hearing that. Let's go see what that is. It's right up top. Could just be something big too. So what do you all think it is? I think it's a quarter. Could just be a mason jar lid or something. Oh, it's a Matchbox car. Well, they got some pottery too, but it's a Matchbox car. Is that a DeLorean? It'd be sweet if it was, but I don't think it is. It's a Ferrari. Not an 80s model. All right, let's keep going. Pinpoint's about the right size too. Let's see what we have.
Right about there. I think I see something. I don't know. Oh, it's another one of those. I don't enjoy the squeeze tube tops, but that's what it is. Keep going. So this is gonna be our last one of the day. I do need to get home. We'll end it on this 26 there. Pinpoint's about the right size. Hopefully it's not a squeeze tube top. We have a coin. What kind of coin, we don't know though. That's a Lincoln penny. So we'll end the day right there on a Lincoln penny. So that's it for today. There's these old Kodak, I think Kodachrome things I bought at an antique store. They're made out of aluminum. These are a bunch of wheat cents, and you might notice some of these things. It's that either silver or gold plated thing from the last hunt. We really didn't know what it was. There may be an Indian in here, but there's a bunch of wheat cents. Now, being that I just cleared a bunch of stuff out of here, somebody else is probably gonna metal detect this someday. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all this stuff in here. I'm gonna close the top. And from now on, whenever I have finds such as these, probably not all my silver, maybe every once in a while, but I'm gonna bury this on site. So, give somebody else something to find someday. Put maybe the top facing up. These have a little gasket in them, and it'll be protected. So put that facing up so they can hit it nice and solid when they come through with the metal detector. At least have something very cool, a little time capsule of some sort to find. So about 5 inches down, we're gonna stick this down in here. And whenever I'm done with the site, since I'm not coming back here again, we're just gonna start planting these things and leaving them for somebody else to find. So the day didn't end up starting all that well, but it sure ended pretty good. Found some good stuff today. So I'm actually gonna take the time while I'm here. I have a little bit of time left before I need to get home to ask a few of the neighbors to see if we can detect their place next week. And show them what I found here and use that, to show them that, there are some interesting stuff that comes out of the ground. So this is a neat part of town. I actually haven't ever metal detector over here before. I know it wasn't the place that we planned on going, but it turned out really well. So until next time, thank you very much for watching my videos, and take care.